All right, what's going on, guys? T Torres back here for another video. So as you guys have been following the channel, the Honda is now gone. So now we are going to be showing some love to the truck. So what we have here today, we're going to be doing drill and slotted rotors for the rear, drill and slotted rotors for the front, and we have some heavy duty brake pads. But before we get into today's actual install video, I do want to do a little merch plug. I do have, this is the logo decal stickers that I have for sale. These are going to be $5 a piece, so if you want to support my channel, this is a great way to give back. They are $5 with free shipping. So if you're interested, send me a message, via Facebook, DM. You can DM me, and we'll get you squared away. Once again, these are $5 with free shipping. Here's kind of a look at the logo on a curved surface, not actual flat surface. I think it turned out super sweet. As many of you already know, I have switched my logo on all my platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc. So get these while they last. I have a nice stack, $5 free shipping. Go ahead and get yours today and support my channel. Thank you, guys. All right, so like I mentioned, we are going to be working on the brakes for the Duramax. Let's go ahead and open up the box here. See what we got. And I'll have the part numbers and everything that I use in today's video down in the description. I did order these off advance. They were a little bit cheaper than going through a Duramax store. I think Duramax store you had to pay for shipping, and with advance you got free shipping. So these things are pretty beefy. Okay. Some other components that you have for them. And then the actual, we got the Power Stop Extreme pads. Okay, now there's two different sets. The front is different than the rear, and I will go over that. Some plates, and then here are the actual pads. They're pretty beefy. So with that being said, the part number, where is my part number at? Of course, it's not on this box, but the part number is K207136, and then you have a K2041-36. These are the Z36 truck kit for towing. All right, so here you have it. Here is the nice and beautiful drilled and slotted rotor. Now I have noticed with my truck, so since I towed the car a couple hours, and I noticed that the truck, it definitely needs some love on the brakes. So that's what we're going to do today. I laid out some of the parts you're going to need. Okay, torque wrench, got some brushes, clean off any kind of grime or anything. Long flathead, a little mallet, breaker bar. You're going to need a 22 millimeter. I believe this is 18 millimeter. And a 21 millimeter. So the first thing you want to do is, we're going to do this tire first. First thing you want to do on this plastic cap, go ahead and take these off. That is a 22 millimeter. Now be very careful, you don't want to break these off. Voila, cap is now off. All right, the next thing you want to do is get your wrench, go ahead and take all these off, and then once that gets nice and loose, we'll jack the truck up, put it on jack stands, and pull this tire off. All right, we got both tires loose. Let's go ahead and get this truck jacked up. Let's get these tires off. It is a hot day here in Florida. All right, so now that we have the tire off, everything looks normal, wear and tear. There's no grooves, major grooves on the caliper or on the rotor itself. So the next thing I did was took this big old screwdriver, compressed the piston in a little bit. The next thing you want to do is, there's 2 bolts for your caliper slide pin bolts. There's one here, there's one up here on the top, and that is a 18 millimeter. So go ahead and loosen both of those. All right, so I got both of those pins loose. Let's go ahead and take the bottom one out first. Okay, should be a nice long pin that comes out just like that. So there's the bottom one. And then what you want to do is you want to hold on to this caliper, because once you remove this top one, caliper is now going to be loose. And then once we get this completely loosened and taken off, we're going to set it right here on top of the upper control arm. Make sure you hold the caliper, and then just like the bottom one, it should slide right out. Okay, slid right out. What I'm going to take the caliper should come right out. Now the more you have that piston compressed, the easier this is going to be to come out. Watch your fingers. Alright guys, the caliper is now off. Make sure that you compress these pistons all the way. Had a little trouble getting the caliper itself off, so put everything back on, pop the piston in just enough to where I can get it off. And as you can see right here on the upper control arm, we have the caliper sitting up top just like that. And be careful with your line right here. You don't want to pinch it, break it, or fray it. Alright, let's go ahead and take our brake pads out. Oh yeah, these are pretty worn compared to the stock ones. I'll do a comparison here in a minute. Okay, take this one out. And as you can see, this one is it's not as bad, but it is still worn down. So it's a good thing that we are replacing these. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is your caliper bolt right here. Yeah, 21 millimeter and a 21 millimeter right there. You want to go ahead and take those loose. All right, I got those nice and loose. Had to use a breaker bar, so don't be afraid to use a breaker bar. Take the bottom one out first. Caliper bolt now out. And this is your caliper slide pin. Okay, let's work on getting this top one out. Go ahead and set this to the side, and then let's work on getting that rotor out. All right, so before you take the caliper off, look and see if your truck has the little locks. They look like this. This little booger was a nightmare to take off, but we got it. And then we have one here on the rear also. Just gonna spin this off, and it should allow I said caliper, I meant rotor. Spin this lock off, and then this bad boy should come completely off. All right, let's go compare the two. All right, so as you can see here is the factory rotor, factory brake pads. Now look at that, the rear is pretty worn down. I mean, take a look at that versus the brand new one. So stopping power is definitely going to be improved. There's less wear and tear on the one that was on the actual front. But as you can see, here is a side-by-side comparison. I'm super excited to get these on the truck. This new stopping power is going to be freaking awesome. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is, I've got an old brake pad in here. We're gonna take our clamp and go ahead and compress the piston the rest of the way. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to take this part and remove these little shims right here. Okay, no longer need these because in the package they provide you with new ones, and then you're just going to slide it over and push it down. And then just like that, as you can see, we got the new hardware in there. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install this caliper bracket back, and you're gonna go ahead and put one of your bolts back in. It doesn't matter which one you start with, the top or the bottom. The 2 bolts that you just put in, you wanna torque those down to 120 foot-pounds. Okay, 120 foot-pounds, torque down, baby. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is on the back of this shim plate right here, this plating, you're gonna take some of your grease and you wanna spread it all along the back of this plate right here. Once you have that completed, it doesn't matter which brake pad you start with first, just go ahead, get the brake pad in there, like so, and then go ahead and do the back side. I have no idea, but this front brake pad was a chore to get in. The back one slid in just fine. Got all the grease still rubbed in there. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fold the actual piston back down, get it back in, get it locked and secured, and then we're also gonna torque those down, those 2 bolts down. Okay, get your bolts started. Your caliper pin. Oh. Okay, get that hold to hold in there for you, and then make sure you come over here and you get the bottom one. Go ahead and get them tight. Tighten them with the ratchet, and then we'll go ahead and proceed to torque them down. All right, guys, you want to tighten those 2 pins down to 90 foot-pounds. Okay. All right, hard part's done. Go ahead and take your lug nuts off. Put your wheel back on. And then do the other side. That wasn't too bad of a job, like I said. Just make sure you compress this piston first. Okay, get that nice, because that makes when the caliper comes off, it makes it super easy to remove. And yep, so you just pretty much got 4 bolts. All this comes off. You know, remove the factory rotor, put everything back together, put your new pads on, make sure your grease is good to go. And that's that. So all we got left to do is to just put the tire on. I went over the torque specs. So that's not too bad. That was my first time ever changing brakes on my truck on a 2500. So we went with the drilled and slotted rotors, and then we did the entire power stock package. So once again, if you are interested in supporting my channel, these decals are $5. Send me a message, a DM, however, $5 free shipping, and I'll be sure to get one out to you guys. So if you guys do have any questions or comments about this brake job, or positive feedback or any feedback, please comment down below on what you think about this install, and I will catch you guys in the next video. If you're stopping into the channel for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.